Are you ready to take your love for Spurs to the next level? Because we've got some exciting news for you. We're amping up our membership program so you can get even more of your Spurs fix. Plus, we're giving you ample opportunities to show off your Tottenham knowledge and win some epic prizes along the way.
As a Platinum member, you'll get access to exclusive shows, Q&A sessions, as well as FIFA content. You'll also have weekly chances to win We Are Tottenham TV merch in our weekly giveaways exclusively for you, our members.
But wait, there's more! We're introducing members-only giveaways during our watch-alongs, so not only can you watch the game with us, but you can also interact and win some incredible gifts along the way, talk about a win-win situation.
And if you're a die-hard Tottenham Hotspur fan, we've got something special just for you. Our frequent Spurs quizzes will test your knowledge and reward the most passionate fan with some amazing prizes. And if that's not enough, you can even be part of our weekly fan shows and have your say on everything happening at Tottenham Hotspur. It's like being in the locker room with the team. Well, not quite that, but you get the idea.
All of this epic content and exclusive benefits can be yours for just £12.99 per month. That's less than the price of a burger and a pint at the Tottenham Stadium. So don't wait, join our We Are Tottenham community today and take your love for Spurs to the next level. Trust us, you won't regret it. Come on, you Spurs.
What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, and we have the post-match fan show. Marlon, we're looking back at the highlights. Yeah, I mean, Fernandes hit the bar. Dyer missed that free header. What was it? Lindelof should have, or was it Dallo should have potentially got sent off for pulling that second. Could have had a second yellow. Odd substitutions. I think all in all, probably a draw was probably a fair result in the end.
Yeah, great game. I think your emotions were up and down. First half, you was probably on the floor. Second half, we were up, and then the substitutions killed us a little bit. But yeah, it was a very, very good game. In the end, I think once we've all slept on it, we'll actually we'll take the point.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. But anyway, loads of people in the back room. Let's get them on. Let's get them to tell us what they thought of the game. And the first person is Ross.
Hey guys,
How you doing, Ross? How you doing, man?
doing all right. It's it's Tottenham till they kill me, right? Man, tale of two halves. Second half, Mason. I tell you what, I don't know what he said to them, but he needs to say that or better it every single time.
Yeah. What do you think of Mason's? What do you think of Mason's performance? But up until I think that last substitution, everything was going perfect, right?
Yeah, it was. I mean, and we looked different. I mean, the first half it was much of the same. I'm going, oh great, here we go. 6-1 loss. We come out, we're doing the same thing. I mean, where's the pride? Where's the effort? Then the second half we came out and we looked like we wanted it. We got after the ball. We're pressing. He's having us press up the pit. I mean, I can't even remember the last time we did that. We're going after it, looking to intercept the ball, get up the field, and attack, and not just sit back and hope something happens. And that's what you got to do. You got to go get it. It's not gonna happen for you every time.
Yeah. And what I guess what helped us was Man United's substitution when Eriksen came off and Fred came on for probably the worst cameo I've ever seen in the Premier League this year. It opened Man United up, right? It allowed us to attack them.
They did, yeah. They kind of, for a change, somebody else kind of went on the back foot and retreated back on us. When we're usually the ones doing that, and it was good. I didn't want Eriksen to score. That was good. I was kind of like, thank God he's going off. I don't need that right now. Things are bad enough. But yeah, it's just, I mean, we showed that heart, we showed that passion. And any team that I ever follow in any sport, that's all I want to see. I just want to see you go out there, play for the badge. Play for the fans, play for yourselves, and go out there and get after it and get the effort. You're going to lose, you're going to win. But if you do it, given the effort and the passion and playing for the shirt, then at least you've got that.
Russ, after the Newcastle defeat at the weekend, did you feel like that the boys came out with any heart and passion in that first half?
Not particularly, and I was hoping that they would. I thought, okay, and I thought, we play well at home. United's coming in, maybe they'll overlook us a little bit. They'll say, hey, they got battered. We don't, maybe we don't need to come out as well. And it wasn't there. It was a lot of the same. I mean, it was a little better. I mean, obviously, we didn't concede 5 within 20 minutes, so that's always good when you do that. We only did 2 this time. Well, not that same amount of time, but so it was a little better, but again, just they went after it and they got a point out of it, which I will take it at this point.
Do you think it was down to Man United why we got the point, or do you think it was because Spurs stepped it up in the second half?
Some of both. I'd say. I think we benefited from them kind of sitting back a little bit more, but then I think you can't take credit away from the players at all. I mean, it was just the different attitude. Guys are going out there playing together, getting after it. A lot of times these guys don't seem to want to play together. They don't trust each other. It seems like, oh, I don't know if I want to make this pass, or I don't know what he's going to do. But there was a little more of that in the second half, and getting after it, making those runs. Looking to attack, there was just so much more of that. So I think it was, like I said, I think it was a little of both, but I think more so, us, because you got to go and score and get those goals if you want to win.
And when Mason brought on Ben Davis and went 4 at the back, was you worried or was you quite impressed he took the risk?
Probably a little bit more of the latter. I mean, we need some. I mean, we've been wanting somebody that's going to make substitutions, that's going to make changes. Conte just would sit on it a lot of the times, and you've seen other managers do that. And at least he's making changes. He's seeing things. He's paying attention to the game. He's seeing this. Okay, I can take advantage of this. I can take advantage of that. And it ended up working out in the end. And we know Ben. Ben's solid. I mean, he's not going to wow you. He's not going to, he's not going to make you go wow, but he does his job. He's as we like sometimes say in the U.S., he's that lunch pail guy. The guy that goes to work every day and does his job.
And does that, after that reaction and after seeing us how we did play in that second half, does that set up nicely for Anfield on Sunday?
Oh, as we all know, yeah, Anfield is, that is not a fun place for us to go. I mean, we got the draw last year, which was the first time we got points there in years, wasn't it?
Yeah,
something like that. And it's a tough place. It's a tough place to go play. But I think you can. I mean, you feel a little bit better. You feel a little better about yourself. I mean, if we'd have lost, that wouldn't have been good. But to show the fight, to come back, to get a point, I think you feel a little bit better about it. And we'll see. I mean, who knows? I mean, if we can stay focused and we can show the same effort, I mean, maybe we can get something out of it. But again, it's Anfield and it's our bogey team, Liverpool. So there's that.
And are you feeling, even after the Anfield game, are you feeling a bit more positive about Spurs going forward today, or are you still in that Spurs will probably let me down?
I mean, it's better. I mean, if we had lost, I definitely wouldn't be feeling a whole lot better about things. But the fight that they showed, and Mason seems to like he knows what he's doing, and he knows how to get something out of these guys. So I think because after that, I mean, we do have Villa, which is Mr. Good Evening is doing a heck of a job there, as he's done with any club he's been. And I think then we got Crystal and a couple others, which they're winnable games, teams that we can beat. So I mean, you never know. I mean, that's the whole exciting thing about this time of year is you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's been Sonny's come out after the game. He said, I thought we didn't deserve to be 2-0 down in the first half. We played quite well. We had the chances to score, but we weren't clinical enough. I think in the second half we showed great character, but we are not happy we didn't get 3 points. The final decision-making wasn't perfect. We didn't want to let the fans down. We wanted to give everything, and that was the dressing room speech. We couldn't let the game go. We were really angry about it. We didn't deserve to be 2-0 down at half-time. I think the lads showed really good character. Football is all about the fans. The last week was unacceptable, and we didn't want to repeat that. We feel really, really sorry for the performance and result at Newcastle, and today we wanted to bring a good energy. With them, we really appreciate their support. They were fighting with us. Do you think the players showed that? Do you think they wanted to they brought good energy, and they didn't want to repeat that and give the fans something?
Yeah, especially in the second half. And love to hear that from Sonny. That's great. I mean, and I love to hear that they're not happy with just the draw. That they think that they realize, hey, we could have won that if we'd have been a little more clinical. I love that. That's great self-awareness there. That tells me that they're aspiring for more, and maybe there's a little bit of a mindset change going on now, which we're going to need to have if we're going to have a shot at top 4.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, Ross, big up. Thank you for the call, my man. We got loads of people waiting that want to come on. Enjoy the rest of your day, man, and thank you for coming on.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Ross. We've also had Ryan Mason on talking as well. I am pleased with the reaction. I thought in the second half we were outstanding, and the character we showed after last Sunday and going to 2 goals down tonight. I hope the fans can see that we are a team today and we ran for each other. In the second half, we could have scored a lot more. They caused us problems and we caused them a lot of problems too. Sometimes moments change games. I think after they went 1 goal ahead, some doubts may have been in the players' minds. We played a lot of the game in their end of the pitch, so that's pleasing. Those players in there, I know I've got men who, when they pull together, they're a very strong team. That's my job, to inspire them and to make sure we act as a team. On the support of the crowd, I know what it's like when we get the fans with us. That goes without saying. I'm pleased with the energy in the stadium as I felt they were with us, and that's very pleasing. He was asked, what is the key? Most importantly, being together and being a team. In football, you can win, lose or draw, but the most important is that we react together. I have a team that's willing to fight. Interesting.
Very interesting, and I agree with that last part. I believe whatever he said at half time, they did show a bit of fight. And after Mason's first stint in charge, I was a bit like, here we go again. But I wasn't impressed with how the first half went. So it's still kind of, let's see how Sunday goes. If they show a bit of fight and we lose, I'm not bothered. I think that's all I want to see now from this team is a bit of fight.
Yeah.
And they looked like they did in the second half, and it was only his substitution that kind of killed it a little bit. But yeah, no, agree. And again, I'll support Mason to the end of the season.
Yeah, look, 5 games to go. But this next person, he was there. He made a rallying cry this afternoon at 12 o'clock. It was day one for some fans. It's been a long time for Rez and others. But let's get him on, Rez. Let's hear his thoughts. Big up, buddy.
Hello, mate. How are you doing? Good to see you both. How are you?
It's never boring when I'm in here, is it?
No.
Wait, get a room, you two. Come on. I'm here.
Listen, that's my partner in crime.
Yeah, when me and Rez are here, we always win, and it's exciting.
Yeah.
So,
I won with Rez, you know.
yeah, all right.
That's
whatever.
also true. That's also
Whatever,
true.
Marlon. Whatever. Anyway, Rez, talk to us. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us how the protest went. You were there.
Yeah.
Eyes and ears on the ground.
Yeah. In the rain, in that filthy weather, apparently there was difficulties with the trains. It was a midweek game, so obviously, you know, people coming from work. The turnout was pretty good, I have to say. As I said, you know, tiny acorns. This is just the beginning of the sort of protest movement. You know, we've got to build momentum, and my thing that I'm most concerned with is that we don't rest on our laurels because of one. I mean, some might argue that it was a decent result, but to be fair, this Man United team is not the Man United team of old. And we made them look like they were. You know, in the first half, we may have come back in the second half to take a point, but we were at home. You know, this Man United team should have been there for the taking because they've got some good results, and to be fair to them, they've won a trophy this season. But they are not the Man United of old, and we could have taken them if we had a decent enough squad. This is all the things that I'm talking about with regard to let's talk about the football by all means, because that's what football is there for. It's for us to talk about and debate and analyze and, you know, tease out the threads and speculate and do all of the things that go along with the watching of the football. But I think we should also not lose sight of the state that the club is in. And the state that the club is in is that when you come up against a very weakened, relatively speaking, Man United team at home, the best you can do is do a single half of football where you only want to earn a draw. That speaks to problems at the club. And I've made no secret of where I think the root of those problems lie.
Yeah, so look, obviously you weren't at the game, but you watched the game. Was it, obviously Marlon asked Ross a question earlier about, was it more Man United lost that game or we won that game? Or, well, obviously we didn't win the game, but like we got back into the game. Sorry. So where do we stand? Because obviously that substitution, I think if you're looking at the substitutions, we probably made the right ones at the right time, and Man United made the wrong ones at the wrong time. I think, yeah, where do you see it?
I think it's there's a combination of things. The one thing, this is the most alarming thing. The most alarming thing is that we stepped out of the tunnel at the beginning of the game. The whistle blows, and having been violated by Newcastle 6-1 5 days ago, we essentially carry on doing what we did up at St James's Park. Now, I'm not talking about the second half reaction. Any player worth their salt will step out onto the pitch having suffered a result like Sunday's and would be ready to die on that pitch to stop it from happening again.
Yep.
I saw none of that from our players.
Do you not, Rez,
And
on that one? On that one, did you not see it from a couple of the players though, where they did try? Not all of them. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm more thinking like Romero was like, no, I don't want this happening to me again.
Sure,
But you saw,
sure,
but then you like someone like Eric Dyer was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, of course. I mean, there are one or two in the squad, in the Spurs squad, who have an attitude that I think can see them through difficult periods.
Yeah. Okay,
But unfortunately, the majority of that squad, and this is why I talk about the culture at the club, who are their positions are not in jeopardy. The reason that Eric Dyer plays shit is because he doesn't have to play any better. He is shit as well. You know, he lacks talent. But there's no motivation for him to play any better.
Yeah.
Because he knows that his position is safe for a number of reasons. One, because he has been at the club long enough and knows exactly how it works. Because apparently he's very chummy with Daniel Levy. And because he is on the player leadership group. Have you guys heard of this?
Yeah, the leadership group that includes an injured Hugo Lloris, Dyer, Højbjerg, and Kane. So I think, to me,
and Skippany is part of it as well.
I'm not sure, but to me, the only person that deserves to be on that is Harry Kane.
Well, I would see, the thing for me is that we shouldn't have a player leadership group, because a player's position in a team is based on merit. And if you have a group that have special status, then merit either completely or partially goes right out of the window. Players will look at what Eric Dyer does week in, week out, stuff like turning his back on the ball, not putting a challenge in, backing away from players who are advancing on his penalty area, and will say, I can do better than that guy. And then they find out he's on the leadership group. How do you think that, what kind of message does that send to all the other players? That this player who is not good enough to wear a Tottenham Hotspur shirt, who in my view is not good enough to wear a Premier League shirt, any club in the Premier League, he is a leader, allegedly. That sends a message. This is the whole thing that I know I'm banging on about it, but this is the whole thing about Daniel Levy lacks an understanding of basic human psychology. And so he brings in these measures thinking that management consultant theory will work in the environment of a football club. And it doesn't, because football clubs ultimately are all about human interaction and human feeling and human psychology. The tribalism of supporting a football club, the idea that the difference between winning and losing, or winners and losers, is a psychological one. If you don't understand that aspect of things, then the way that the football club will be run is one that is dysfunctional. For me, the only leadership group that should exist in a football club is that consists of the manager and his staff. Not a player leadership group, not a hierarchy, not a transfer committee. Whatever the sporting setup has to be, that is the primary and only leadership group that should exist. A sporting director and a manager or first team coach together determine transfers, not a committee, not one that analysed the finances of it. It should be, we need this player. Can we afford him? Yes or no? If the answer is no, move on to the next. Not, can we afford his contractual payments? Can we afford a loan and with an option to buy or an obligation to buy? You know, how much do we pay for the loan fee? No, more simple than that. I know it's complicated. I'm not naive to say that football finance is an easy thing. But we shouldn't have a transfer committee. We shouldn't have a leadership group. The focal point of a club should be the manager, whoever it happens to be it Mason or be it Conte, you know, be it Yol or be it Mourinho, whoever it happens to be at that time, they should be the focal point and the last port of call. And we don't have that in our club. We have subcommittees. We have management theory applied to something that is not right. It's a manager's job to manage. Let the manager do it. Don't get management consultants to do it. So yeah, for me, this result, a single point, great, fantastic. You know, we got a point, but how many managers have we had at Spurs since Daniel Levy took over? You know, I actually went through and looked at it. Every single one of the managers, permanent managers we've had, with the exception of Jacques Santini, have won games against big clubs. So this result is meaningless. What do we want for the future of Spurs? Do we want a club that competes? Do we want a club that will go out there and be a threat and look to win? Not whether or not we won, or do we only concentrate on single games and forget about it? That's the binary here.
Rich, just a quick question on the player committee thing. I think on that, I think the problem that I don't have a problem with the player committee. I think most clubs generally do it. It's usually the captain and the vice captain and one other, which with most teams it is. I think what the biggest issue with the player committee is that they shouldn't be chummy with the chairman. Usually it's the manager.
Okay.
Usually the committee is usually for the interaction between the manager, the assistant manager, and then the players. So is that probably what the biggest issue is at Spurs? Actually, when you look at our player committee, they're too chummy with the man at the top, and that's what probably then the managers get fall by the sword, because if they're chummy with the man at the top, it's always going to be an issue. When only it should be the captain, usually the vice captain, and probably the most senior player.
And probably those setups are less formalized than I would imagine we have at Spurs. You know, that's essentially what your club captain and vice captain are supposed to do. They are, as you say, the conduit between manager and playing staff. Yeah. But there shouldn't be fines. That's right. There shouldn't be a sub conduit or a second conduit that leads directly to the chairman's office. Yeah. The chairman of a football club should always be a distant, I don't want to use the term deity like. Yeah.
Distant cousin. You don't see that often, but you know you get a card at Christmas.
Yeah. No, that's right. It should be a figure. He should be a figure that the players only interact with very, very occasionally. You know, a Christmas party, an end of season party, and at other times that person is not involved. But we have a club in which Daniel Levy has lunch with these players on a regular basis. He is always there. And this is, I hate to want to criticize him on personal terms, right? But this is him essentially making up for his inadequacies. This is short man syndrome from a person who lacks, that Cambridge Union interview, I don't know if anyone's seen it. It was so tone deaf. It was so detached from reality. The guy has delivered nothing of substance to Tottenham in 22 years, and yet he is the highest paid chairman in the league. And this year awarded himself a £500,000 a year pay rise. £6.5 million. At the time, he was earning about £5.6 million. And he wanted to furlough staff during lockdown. where with the wealth that he already has, what he could have done, any human would think, you know what, I've got plenty of money. Instead of furloughing staff, I'll send them home and I'll cover their salary for 6 months out of my own pocket. That's what a human would do. But no, he wants to furlough them. He wants the government, he wants the taxpayer to pay pay Tottenham Hotspur staff while he continues to draw his mega salary and then awards himself when Spurs haven't won anything. Where he builds a stadium that was 40% over budget. Yeah? Where his executive director, when the crowd start making noise about their dissatisfaction, sits there with a smirk on her smug fucking face. Those are the people in charge of our club. Those are the people. Remember their names. Daniel Levy, Donna Marie Cullen, Matthew Collicott, John Turner, Todd Klein, Rebecca Kappelhorn, and Scott Munn. These are the people who are drawing a salary based on our money. And she sits there and smirks at people being unhappy. Who the hell does she think she is? This is what angers me, and this is what we need to change.
Okay.
And just a quick last question, because you mentioned there you mentioned there about being tone deaf.
Yeah.
And do you think that's also applied with our managers and performances, and that's what sneaks onto the pitch where we've hired Mourinho's, we've hired Conte's, and the football, the way that Spurs want to play, and fans that want to see, has not been the fluid type of football, no matter how good or well Conte and all those have done. But actually, looking at that interview, that just summed up, and it's especially in the performance today, how the club is performing overall.
The issue you have with the management of the club by the executive board is that they essentially, everything they do is reacting to the previous crisis, and every crisis itself is usually a reaction to a previous crisis caused by something they've done. So I mean, let's go back a few years. So they sack Maurizio Pochettino, and they think to themselves, well, what can we do to sort of manage this? We need a big name. So they hire Jose Mourinho. I mean, there wouldn't really have been a bigger name available at that time. Mourinho comes in, he alters the way that Tottenham play and leads to huge dissatisfaction within the fan base, especially after that Liverpool game when everything started to fall apart. So what do? So that's going on. Then they add another crisis where they want to join the European Super League. That ramps up pressure on them. So what do? They sack Mourinho, yeah, and then cause another crisis because we've got a cup final coming along, and they bring in Ryan Mason. They go to the cup final, no shots on target. Crisis. Mason's finished. We need a new manager. What do we do? Let's get Paratici in because everyone's saying we need a sporting director. He comes in, starts making ridiculous choices, like trying to hire Gennaro Gattuso. Again, crisis. There's pressure, more pressure. What do? They get Nuno in. Still crisis. 3 games in, pressure drops. Then another crisis as results start to go thing. What do? They sack him. Oh, we've got to get someone that the fans would be happy with. They hire Conte. Pressure drops. It's always that up and down. And that's why it's so aimless. So I can't stress it enough. Everything that is problematic at Spurs is rooted in the management of that executive board. Everything there. The tone deafness in terms of who they hire, it's tone deaf because they don't consider that aspect of it. They just think to themselves, what's the best way in which we can manage, if you like, our way out of the current crisis that we currently find ourselves in? The big solution here is a sweep of the board. Get rid of all of these executives because not a single one of them has done anything that you can argue has been of adequate performance, including the chairman. They all need to resign. They all need to be pushed out, and new independently appointed people need to be brought in, and the board needs to be restructured. We need to first of all, we need to detach the chairman and the chief executive role at Tottenham. We are the only club in the entire league, if I've got my facts correct, that have a chairman CEO, i.e. one person filling both roles. Every other club has a chairman or a chief executive or both in separate roles. So those two need to be detached at Tottenham, and a chairman has to be appointed who is a football person. They become the president of the club. They might not necessarily have full executive power, but that person is the one that sets the direction for the club. Then you have a chief executive, because it is a multi-billion-pound business. It requires a chief executive officer. That person should not be Daniel Levy. That person should be someone who has a grasp on basic business principles, such as how to treat your customers, even though we shouldn't be treated as customers, but how to provide service and keep people happy, which he is unable to do. Get rid of Donna Marie Cullen altogether. She should not be anywhere near Tottenham Hotspur Football Club or any other club, because this is a woman who referred to fans as insects. Yeah? This is the woman who sat there and smirked when people were calling for Lever to go. So either she is happy that her chairman is being abused in this fashion, or she is laughing at the supporters. Either way, she should go. The others, Collicott, Capelhorn, Turner, Klein, and Munn, fine if they're there, but every single one of their positions should be matched by a football person appointed to the board as well, with the same executive powers that they have. That is what will solve Tottenham Hotspur over time. It won't even happen immediately. Yeah. It will take time, but that is how this club recovers.
Okay. Big up, Rez. Thank you for your call in, mate. Thank you for your videos. And
Pleasure,
I'm sure,
guys.
I think we'll see you on Ben and Sim have put together a video of everything that's happened today. So big up and come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Big up to you guys. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Right, let's get going. Who is next? Arian, he passed his test a few months ago. He's out driving in town. Did he see the game? Is he happy? Are we going to hear a, come on, you Spurs? Let's get him on.
Always.
It's Arian.
Always. You're always going to get the come on, you Spurs from me at the very end. That's my trademark.
Okay, did you watch the game, Arian?
Yeah, I'm actually driving. I watched the games at a sports bar. I'm driving back home right now. I was actually
okay.
There's like LA Spurs, like maybe 40, 50 of us, depending on the game. We all watched together. It was great.
Stuck in LA traffic, are ya? You know?
Yeah, LA. I mean, I don't know if y'all ever been, but Los Angeles traffic is crazy. So.
Yeah, well, look, the sun's out. It's better than here. It was raining. So, yeah, tell us your thoughts on the game, man.
He's got coat on.
Look,
I know, it's cold, man.
Honestly, I think I agree with Son a lot in his quote. I think the first half, one thing I want to say is I don't think it was a fantastic performance by any means, but I also don't think, I think 2-0 up Man United, because Man United were not particularly impressive either, in my opinion, in the first half. Sancho's goal was a well-taken goal, good finish. It was against the run of play, in my opinion, in those first 5-10 minutes. And then the last goal, again, off a counter-attack, Perisic misses a one-on-one. And then down the other end, Rashford goes and scores. So 2-0, it's not that they didn't deserve to be 2-0 up, but it did come a little bit against the run of play and all that, in my opinion. So I think we were a little bit unlucky to go 2-0 down, and the fight that we did show, Ryan Mason, I said it. You can go back to the interviews I did back in his first managerial stint. He always has this halftime team talk that it's magical. I don't know what he says in there. It's something. I guess he has this real ability to inspire the players. This was what my biggest criticism of Conte was this season. I'm really happy Mason said this in his post-match interview. It was that it's your job as the coach to inspire and motivate the players to some degree. Of course, if they have a horrible mentality and they just don't want to do anything, that is a conversation in itself. But when you have players like Harry Kane, players like Romero, players like Porro, players like Son, players like Kulusevski, players like even like Perisic, who is an experienced player, and they're going out there and they're not performing and don't look like they give a shit for 90 minutes every week, that does fall a little bit on the coach, in my opinion. And it felt like Conte, and really Stellini more than Conte, was just kind of brushing that to the side and saying, oh, well, they should do better. I'm really happy. I feel like Mason kind of took a little bit of responsibility and tried to get into the players' heads and motivate them, and I think you can see that especially in the second half, In In the second half, they did come out fighting. And that second half, I think, was brilliant. I think Kulusevski, especially, he made all the difference when he came on. I thought, most of that second half was played in the United half. I think 2-2 is probably ultimately a fair result given what happened in the first half. But if we have if we can build on that performance, and Anfield is a typical game, so is Aston Villa 2 games from now. Those two are really our most important games of the season, though, and they'll determine not necessarily top 4 because that's really not in our hands anymore, but at least Europa League. And I said this maybe 2 weeks ago. I said Europa League, honestly, I feel like is more appropriate at our level because we are not a top 4 quality team. Like, I'm so sick and tired of trying to get top 4 and then beating the team everybody wants to draw. That's not the kind of team I want to be. I want to build up slowly into our level. And if we can go into Europa League, maybe go into the finals or even win it, that's going to be something that we can build on a lot more. And we have 2 important games against our Europa League opponents right now, Aston Villa and Liverpool. And if we can build on this performance and hopefully try and have that second half in both halves and fight, I think we could be in for a bit more of a positive end to the season, which might, more than anything, might give whatever managers we're looking for something to see in the club. And I could sit here and talk about like Rez said about how much all this is Levy's fault, but I think first of all he broke that down brilliantly, and second of all I just want to be a bit more positive about the club.
Yeah. So what? The decision of Hugo Lloris. Do you think Hugo's injured, or you think there's something else at sea here? Because I don't know what he did to get injured in that Newcastle game, and obviously there was the rumours of the bust-ups at half-time, and then he refused to come out, or he was advised not to go out for the second half because of what had happened. What do you read into that?
I think what he said was that he got hurt in one of the little side kicks that he always does. And I honestly think he's hurt. I think that rumor of the bust-up is something that you can easily it's something anyone can make up, really. And you don't keep your captain out of the team and freeze him out, especially when he's on that players committee. It just doesn't make sense from any angle you look at it. I think it's nonsense. And really though, my thing is I don't really care as long as he's not playing because I prefer Forster. I do prefer Forster. I think he plays better out there. So I'm not going to complain too much about what the reason is. But I do genuinely think he's hurt. He's getting old. We did kind of. It feels like we did rush him back a little bit from injury. I just think he's genuinely hurt. I don't think there's any point reading because I think the rumor originated from some random Facebook post, which is obviously super reliable.
Super reliable. Tier 1000.
After today's game, Arian, are you in a positive mind that Mason can manage us over the line in the next couple of weeks, or are you just get Europa League spot and that's it?
I mean, I've been get Europa League spot for like 3 months now. For me, it's
Do you think he'll get
whatever. I'll take the Europa League spot. I think he can get it. That's one thing. I think one thing people do is they scoff at Mason, and before anyone says anything ridiculous, because I know you guys be putting ridiculous titles on the videos you post of me, right? Okay. So before anyone says anything crazy. Okay. Yeah, the players are not at fault. I'm so sorry. Whatever. I'm not gonna. But you guys be putting ridiculous crap on my words. So I'm just gonna say I'm not saying Mason's the next Pep Guardiola. Get him in over Nagelsmann. I'm not saying any of that. But I am saying this is a man who has been forged by Pochettino, Mourinho, and Conte. He is now 7 games in the Premier League with only 2 losses, 4 wins and a draw and 2 losses, which is not some world class record, but it's definitely not bad. It's better than what Stellini had. I think he's also definitely shown some very good man management skills to steer us away from some troubles like we had. Definitely today was better than anything Stellini has ever put out in his games ever since Conte got sacked. So I think he definitely has some talent as a coach. I would like to maybe see him go to a smaller side and get some experience. I would like to see him manage us one day. It's too soon for him right now. But I think this, next 5 games we've got going on, I think he's shown that he is capable of steering us somewhere. I do trust him for the end of the season. I fully trust him.
But if a quick question on that, so you said to go manage a small club, but what happens if he goes to that small club, does well, and a bigger club want him? So is it not best if we can try and get him now?
Look, if he's I think he bleeds blue and white. He's not gonna reject us. I wholeheartedly believe he's not gonna reject us for any other club if we want him. I wholeheartedly believe that.
Well, like Pochettino.
No, look, don't get me started on Pochettino. I've not been able to stop thinking about Pochettino for like 6 days. Do you have any idea how upset I am right now? Like, I can't even say his name without like getting sick in my stomach.
My question is
so bad.
the question behind it is there's no loyalty in football. So, but if a chance came up to say he does, was to do very well and he went to a smaller club and done well, and it became between Spurs, Manchester City, so for talking purposes, who's he going to pick?
I 100% wholeheartedly believe that Mason is more loyal to Spurs than Pochettino is. Because, look, Pochettino is a South American who just felt connected to the club. And I feel like also Pochettino's playing dumb. He's like, oh, well, it's not Arsenal. But he knows what he's doing. I don't want to talk about Poch, man. I'm so angry at what's happening with Poch. I'm so angry. Like, I'm so unbelievably angry. Like, I feel sick that he's going. I won't be the same.
Lift your foot up. Lift your foot up. Technical difficulties. Go on. Sorry. Carry on, Arian.
Okay. I don't even want to get started with Poch. I won't be the same when I see him in a Chelsea tracksuit. Like I don't want to think about it.
So you're Mason
but I do believe. I can't. I already know. In an hour, I'm gonna look, and the title is gonna be Arian says Mason over Nagelsmann. It's gonna be some absolute
Sammy,
nonsense.
can you put that on Arian's clip? Mason over Nagelsmann, yeah.
I cannot. I can't.
A couple of questions from the chat. Where in LA do you watch the games? And are you in a right-handed vehicle, or is the camera mirrored?
The camera's mirrored. I'm not in a right-hand vehicle, and I watched the game in LA at the Greyhound Bar and Grill. It's somewhere like downtown. You just look up Greyhound Bar and Grill. You'll probably find it, or just LASpurs.com. That's the website. Go there.
Cool. Big up, Arian.
Big up, Arian.
Look, if Sammy puts something, it's on Sammy, yeah?
Mason in.
Mason in.
Over Nagelsmann.
All right, I didn't say that for the. If you get titled that, I'm gonna take like legal action, bro. This is some slander.
We got a video clip.
Yeah, we clipped it. We clipped it now, yeah. He's already done it.
And we can edit it.
I mean, we can't. Sammy can. We can't. All right, big up, Arian. Let's hear it.
Anyway,
let's hear it then.
Have a good one. As always, come on, you Spurs!
Big up, Arian. Big up, Marlon. I'm leaving you for a second. Nature calls. So Sammy will put it all on you. And it's only because Bobby K's come on, but I'll let you and Bobby K chat, and I'll be back in a second.
So let's bring out the next person. My favourite man, Bobby K. How you doing?
I'm well, Marlon. It's a lot better now that it's just you and me. We don't have to worry about the person that likes to break shit in the studio. Now that he's gone, we can talk about him, right? First off, hello, Marlon. Good to see you. Hello to everybody in the chat. Great job today on the watch along, boys. I love the energy you guys bring in the show. It's for me. I find it painful to watch alongs, especially when I've got the game on in front of me. And of course, being over here in Canada, we're always a few seconds behind. So I end up pausing you guys, but unfortunately, can't pause the chat. So it's like I see, 2-2, and I'm like, oh shit. A minute later, hey, woo, it's yay. Didn't know that was coming, right? So you kind of hope that it's just people talking shit in the chat kind of thing and trying to wind things up. Overall, quite an eventful eventful week for us as Spurs fans as well, going from that really, really sad display last week, that pathetic low, that gut-wrenching loss that pretty much put us all in a state of physical shock, not just mental. Normally it's our mental aspects that are hurt when we watch the Spurs, but that one was really, really gut-wrenching and really painful to a lot of people from a lot of different perspectives. So, based alone on that, it was nice to see the boys didn't capitulate and just completely fall apart this time as well, especially when you look at the game and you see a goal in the 7th minute. You're just thinking immediately that, oh, here we go again. That's the first thoughts I had, because
Was you expecting a better reaction in the first half, considering what had happened on Sunday?
I was on with Josh earlier today, and we were debating about this a little bit, and the fact that he was saying he'd like us to start off on the back foot kind of thing, play defensive football, play on the counter attack if needs be, and just kind of hold Man United as best as we can. Whereas I was on the opposing front, where I was like, if they've got Lindelof and Maguire, it's not their first choice pairing back there. They're kind of weak as well, so let's not just go at them and see if we can kind of razzle them kind of and get a poor reaction out of them, force them into mistakes, and let's just get something going here right from the get-go. We weren't able to. Of course, as soon as you go down immediately, as early as they did, then you've got to kind of settle down and get back into the game. I think that second goal was really disappointing, especially coming right at the end of the half, and the fact that we almost just scored on the other end to turn around and concede immediately after almost just scoring kind of thing, or having an opportunity is really a kick in the nuts. So to go into that at halftime with that extra punch kind of thing, I think it took a lot for the boys to come back out in the second half and show a little bit more, clearly a lot more than what they did last week. Now, as fans, what can we ask for? That they put on a better performance than they did the last time, unless the last performance is just so stellar there's nothing to complain about, right? Which unfortunately I don't think we've had this season at all. There's not a single game that at least one fan hasn't turned around and said they weren't happy with some aspect of it in some form. I know they had the protest and everything, and I know they're pushing for the purple and gold until the club is sold. It's a good initiative in the fact that it's not forcing it, shoving it down people's throats and stuff like that. So hopefully fans will support it. And I'm for change. I'm not necessarily bored out. I've said that all the time. I've remained consistent with that. I'm not going to sit here and start slagging the board and Levy and everything like that, because I don't personally, I'm not educated enough regarding the whole situation and the way everything works to be able to speak about it. You know what I mean? I'm just making up bullshit, and in reality, I make up enough nonsense as it is when just talking about the footballing end of it. So I'll just try to stick to one category and stay in my lane, kind of thing, right? But Marlon, I was disappointed, obviously, with the first half, yelling and screaming at the TV, went into the kitchen to have my halftime cup of tea, of course, in a pissy mood, and the kids had come back from school and stuff like that, so they're not happy and everything. And then that second half started off, and I actually thought we came out really well. We looked like we weren't about to just give up on this game. We looked like we had learned something from the last one, and again, which is all you can hope that your players, do achieve. I think a big difference in this game was Fraser. I really think that if Lloris had started this game, we might have gone into that half down 4-0. So credit to him. We look at our transfer window now, and he might have been one of the better ones that we picked up, right? Because
that's a very fair point. Yeah,
it's as crazy as that is to say, compared to how excited we were over the fact that we brought in Perisic and Basuma and Richie and players that kind of excited the fan base, and they aren't the ones that are achieving anything. Poro's got more goals than Richie now, so but I don't think Richie was that bad. I know a lot of people were slagging him and stuff. I think at least he was putting out an effort. He put in some energy into the game. He made some runs. He was being a little shit, which is kind of what we expect and hope of him. He got to the point where he had to have the ref come over and have a chat with him. Good old Harry had to come over and tell him, all right, mate, calm down a little bit. You know what I mean? But I think we needed that. I think we really needed to go out there and show that we do have some spirit, we do have some fight, because I think for myself personally as a fan, what's most discouraging, disappointing this season is the fact that we've seen so many games that we sit there at the end of it and say, why did they show no desire? Why did they show no heart? Why did they just not show any kind of effort? And those games are the ones that really, really hurt, because they're just painful watches. This, I'm going to say, was actually one of the better games. I enjoyed watching this game, especially the second half, coming back in the second half as well. Barry, you weren't here, but I was praising the work rate that you boys put into the watch along. So well done to you, mate.
No. He did not us, just me.
Okay, cool. Just Marlon, yeah.
He's back now. Be nice.
Yeah. Just what? Just
remember
because,
what we were talking about, unity.
Just because we got him over his target, yeah. That's all he wanted me for, yeah. That's all he wanted me for, yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, I know, such a user and abuser, Barry. Don't worry, I got nothing but love for you. Like I said, it was just great to see some spirit some form of fight. Obviously, I think the crowd helped as well because they were loud. I don't know.
Yeah.
For people that are in the chat, maybe that were in the game, you can kind of let us know if it was truly that loud or if it was just, stereo supported kind of thing with the audio.
Your super sound system at home.
Yeah, maybe it said that post kicking, baby. So it was loud, obviously the Levy out chance and everything, and the board out and everything, and Barry reflecting on that. But we've talked about that stuff enough as it is, though. But in regards to the game, it was just nice to see that once that first goal went in, it kind of rejuvenated the team, it rejuvenated the fans, and it got the whole stadium back up on its feet, kind of thing, and it brought in a positive energy which we've been lacking, and it's a combination of the fact of the way we've been playing and the results we've had. So for the fans to still be behind their team, that warms my heart, because at the end of the day, these guys will be gone one day and Tottenham will still be standing, and we'll still be either foolishly or wholeheartedly and happily supporting them. We don't know what the future holds. So maybe my kids will get to see some joy one day, because it's been 31 years of a great ride for me so far. Sorry. Blank moment. I just think that this game, we could have let it get away from us a lot more. We could have gone into that half a lot further down, even when we scored that goal to get ourselves into it at 2-1. Fernandez turns around and comes through and walks right through our defense to thankfully smash it against the crossbar. If that had gone in, again, we're looking at a different game. Had Sonny been just a yard further ahead in the first half when he was in the box, there was at least 2 or 3 good opportunities that were easy tap-ins for him. So the opportunities were there. It was nice to see us creating them at least. The second half, I think, what did we have? Something like 4 shots in the first half or something like that, and 13 or 15 in the second half or something. Me and the numbers. I'm horrible. But it was just the effort, the increase in the effort. And, do you credit that to United taking their foot off the gas kind of thing and letting us get back into the game? Or was it credit to the boys actually coming out and saying, we're not going to let what happened last week happen again? We can't do this. We can't do this to ourselves. We can't do this to our fans. We can't do this to this badge. Maybe there's some passion to be shown. The one disappointing thing to me, and I hate saying it, and this is why I put the flag up to cover the boys' face, is Dyer was just absolutely painful to watch. It just seems like out of all the players that went, like Romero, what a difference from last week to this week. Talk about going from one end of the spectrum to the other, all over the field kind of thing, cutting across the field to make tackles and stuff, shouting players out, telling them to move their asses, get into the right spots and everything like that, put an effort in. So it was nice to see that.
He seemed like he took control today, in which we've not seen from him probably all season. Yeah, he weren't great in the first half, but he seemed to, you're right, he did seem to take some control. But that's Sancho goal. People could point the finger at him saying he didn't close him down fast enough. He let him come in and cut in onto a stronger foot and let the shot go. So but considering he made that one mistake versus the 3,000 that he made last week, I'll forgive him for that. Players make mistakes. We can't get on them every single time, but if they make consistent mistakes, I think as a fan base we have the right to call them out, because you're professionals. This is what you're getting paid to do, and if you can't do the basic fundamentals of your job, then you're going to get called out for it. And if you can't handle that, well, get a therapist. You can afford it. I don't know what to tell you. Dyer, in this case, it's just absolutely painful that we're still considering that this is the guy that we're going to extend his contract and keep him around the club. Like, this is what we want. That to me bothers me. I as I was watching your watch along today, the Dyer out. There was one guy that just, he even put in nice little colorful logos and all this shit and everything. I'm not having hard enough time to put a smiley face. So credit to you, man, whoever you were. It just, just Dyer out and everything. And it was consistent, though. It wasn't just a handful of opinions. It seemed like it was a majority of opinion. It's getting painful. He's getting exposed consistently, and we need a much higher level in that situation if we're going to push forth. I don't see the point in us screaming to qualify for Champions League. I don't want to get into a competition that we're just going to get into for the sake of being there to line pockets. I want to get into a competition that we actually have the opportunity to win and maybe go forth and create something with. If that means Conference League even, so be it. Bring on the youngsters then. Let them play in that thing. Let's get them some game time. Next year we progress up into the Europa. By the time we're ready for CL again, we've invested into the squad properly. We've got a manager that's been there more than 15
15 minutes. We got a director of football that's actually allowed to be a director of football, and Levy is sitting on a beach somewhere, just concentrating on the property end of things and the investments and the next concert or whatever else needs to be done. I just would like to see the structure properly changed to the fact where the footballing end of things are represented properly. That's all I ask for. I don't think it's much of an ask. I think that's all our fans really want to see is just, there's a reason why we have such an older fan base that's connected to Spurs, because these were the guys that invented the attacking football kind of thing in England, where it was with Bill Nicholson and the push system and everything. It's just they were considered guys that evolved the game and made the game better, and Tottenham were that team to do that, and they were exciting. And I think people have the right to want that excitement back. I know the game itself overall has changed. Tactically, it's a lot more detailed now. The managers have all this access to specific stats on who does what, who runs which way, who does what on their right foot, on their left foot, what do they do when they cut back, when they cut forward, blah, 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 blah. All these hundreds of billions of different things they have to look at. But it comes down to the players and pushing themselves a little bit and providing that excitement. And I think today they actually did. The result isn't the one we fully wanted, but I will happily take a point after the way we started that game.
Yeah. Where do you see us on Sunday, Bobby? How do you see the game going against Liverpool?
I see myself sitting at home and watching it, because when I said to the boys, should we go to Scotland Yard and watch it? Because as a lot of people know, I'm on holiday this week, so I thought let's at least get out and have a boys' day one day. Then he quickly turned around and said, no, thanks, Dad. I know that I have a dear friend of mine that unfortunately has to take his wife all the way to Anfield and sit beside her during the game. I think the only thing that will comfort him during that game is the fact that he'll be sitting in the Spurs end at least. I have a feeling his wife is going to be pointing and laughing at him a few times that game, because Liverpool are on the up where we're kind of just riding the wave of whatever happened. So we don't know what wave we're going to fall into. We got 4 days to get ready for it. Mason's pushing them to play a little bit better football, which is what we hoped for. Let's just see if he can go in there and get a result. I'm going to remain hopeful because I try to always be the optimist. So I'm going to go in there and say at Anfield, where we do so amazing and we just bang out points after point, I'm going to go for a solid 1-1 draw.
Yeah, look, we could have won last year, no?
Could have.
Could have, would have, should have. Could have, would have, should have. Tottenham also. Were
you at that game?
No. Said person's wife has just messaged and said, yes, Bobby K, exclamation mark. So, she predicted it was going to be 6-1. And I'm getting it again now. You'll never walk alone, 6-1 Liverpool. So, you better hope it's 6-1. You better hope it's 6-1 Liverpool, because if you're wrong,
well, you know how painful. You see now, Barry. Sorry, I'm not going to say who, but this person is a Spurs fan and dear friend of the community, and they have to watch it with their Liverpool wife. So I know how that pain is, because you know about this, Barry.
Yeah,
you know about that. So that's for those of you who don't know. I am a Spurs fan. Not to worry, that's there. But that is for one of my best friends who passed away. That was a major Liverpool fan. So anytime they play, it's been 8 years now, he's left us. And every time they play, this is where I kind of keep an empty seat beside me no matter where I am, because that's kind of where you should be sitting. So it's always a bit of a sentimental and emotional game for me as well. But I really, really, really hope that we can beat the shit out of them, so I can just kind of look up and say, hi, we finally got one. And just enjoy the moment kind of thing.
Yeah, me too, Bobby. Me too. I certainly am not going to enjoy that 3.5 hour drive back home if we get spanked 6-1.
But Bobby K, for your friend who's going to the game, is it not happy life, happy wife?
Yeah, that's some bullshit that I think Oprah Winfrey made up a long time ago. Being married 22 years and the fact that he's only been married a short term. Don't buy into that nonsense, man. That's that whole female agenda and everything. Don't believe it, bro. If you look at where that's written, that's in like Cosmopolitan and Vogue and mostly female prominent magazines kind of thing. So happy wife, happy life is oh, hi, honey. It's a very true statement.
And 3 points for us at Anfield.
Come on, you Spurs, beat the shit out of them. Make sure she cries the whole drive home. 3 hours of it. And I want my friend who's going to be there whilst you're driving, because you're on this side of the road. I want you sitting there going,
No more.
Yeah. Or are you hungry? You want to stop and get something to eat? Or did you need a new tissue box for them tears? That's the way that drive home should be. So that's all I'm hoping for. But I know you got other people waiting in the background, and you guys have been at this a long time. So I will kick myself out of here and let you boys carry on with it. Always an absolute pleasure speaking to you, beautiful people. You know, you're good boys. You know that. You got good hearts. You're big Spurs fans, the kind that I love being around because you're consistently have a good attitude towards it, and you look at the club, you know, through good views and everything. And I know the two gentlemen waiting in the background do the same thing, and they got some great things to say. So I will end my waffling here. Say good evening to you, gentlemen, and to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like and sub button if you haven't, and we shall speak soon.
Big up, Bobby
Big
K.
up, Bobby K.
Come on, you
Yeah.
Spurs.
Come
Big
on,
up,
you
Bobby
Spurs.
K.
Come on, you Spurs.
Who's that friend he's talking
I
about?
wonder who that friend is. Definitely ain't me.
Yeah, it might be me. It might be me. Anyway, speaking of friends,
I
last
married
time.
Spurs.
Hang on a minute. Speaking of this next guest, right? I think he was trying it on with my wife last time.
Oh, was he?
But then he said no because he's got Sylvie, so he might pop the question. But anyway, we're gonna hear what the man, the myth, the legend. It's me, it's KPV in the house.
Yes, boys.
Yes, KPV, what are you saying?
Nothing, man. Just like I said 6-1 to Newcastle on Friday last week to Ben
All
and
right,
Sim,
all
man.
right, KPV.
I was
We're going
right.
back to that, are we?
Oh, KPV, come on.
What
Like,
did you say? What did you predict for today's game? 2-2. You're going to say now? Getting them all right.
yeah, 2-2 is what I said.
Fucking hell, KPV. What's the Liverpool score going to be, mate? Because I'll put some money on it now.
2-2 again, like it was at home last season, but we're at Anfield, so I'll go for 3-3. 3-3.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
3-0.
KPV, whoa.
KPV. Big numbers. He's got it right the last 2 weeks. There's some people in the chat, KPV, asking to unblock you, if you could unblock them. So...
Do they know I haven't blocked them? Do they know I haven't blocked them? Are they being a bit of jabronis now, are they?
Yeah, Ben Kaufman, you jabroni. Although I'm still blocked, KPV, yeah? I'm still blocked, mate. Come on, man. Unblock me, man. What have I done to you?
Come Bell, you know I'm not blocking, man, because I've just been busy, mate. So I don't know where you're getting that from every time.
KPV's being busy. He's not being blocking, he's being busy. So did you watch the game, KPV? What was your thoughts, man?
I watched the game, obviously, and I have to say, and what a stunning goal from Pedro Zorro. Zorro, yeah, Pedro Zorro, not Porro. It's Pedro Zorro.
Pedro Porro, yeah. Pedro Porro,
No,
not a problem. I thought you weren't watching
No,
any more
it's-
games or making any more predictions, actually, KPV. Let's rewind a minute. I'm not making any more predictions. You've just come up with, I said it'd be 6-1,
Yeah.
I said it'd be 2-2, and now you're going back on it. You're doing the Gary Lineker, mate.
Yeah, I'm only doing a Gary Lineker because Ben and Sim keep asking me predictions. That's why I didn't come on last night, because they knew I was going to say to all if they asked me for the game tonight. So thank God I didn't come on last night.
Exactly. All right,
To
mate.
this-
Get back to
yeah.
Pedro Zorro, as you call him. Go on. Tell me about Pedro Zorro.
That's what Expressions just called him, as he just done his preview for the game earlier. Yeah, Zorro holding a hammer, Pedro Zorro. So what a strike! And he did. Richarlison was not interfering with play, so I don't know why a Man U fan in the chat said he was, because he wasn't. Like, it's a bit like Stamford Bridge all over again. Richarlison interfering with play. Nah, it wasn't. Another 2-2 draw at the Bridge in August and at home in April. So 2-2 draws we've had, but not going to happen again. Hopefully next year it's not, because need to beat Man United, man, because they seem to beat us, but at least we've beaten them already once. So enough is enough. And well done to the people who kept singing "We Want Levy Out." It's time, Levy. It's time for Levy to leave. I just don't want him at the club. He's not good. Like, people are saying they're Levy inners. Well, are you mad, fam? I'm not Levy in, I'm Levy out. I'm not. I want Levy gone. Like, we need someone that is going to take control of this club and get us back to where we want, challenging for leagues and winning the big trophies. Like, that's what I want. But if we're not going to do that under Nagelsmann, apparently is interested. He rejected us, but now he's changed his mind again. Like, make your mind up, you German fool. Make your mind up. And I'm going to say this. Poch is not loyal, man. He's doing a Sol Campbell. Not loyal, mate. So, do one, mate. Go. You ain't winning nothing at Chelsea, mate. So, you can piss off, mate. You ain't going to win nothing there. They're getting relegated at this rate. They've got games left, so they're getting relegated at this rate. So, kiss goodbye to the league because you ain't going to win nothing, mate. So, say goodbye, Fat Frank.
KPV, I can't stop laughing, man. My wife just texted me and she said KPV should be Prime Minister. What do you think about that? All right, you won't be. Look, you're not flirting with her just because you're answering her questions. So Sylvie will be okay, man. So we won't worry about that. But what do you think on that? KPV for Prime Minister?
Prime Minister? Okay. You want me to be Prime Minister, but I'm going to make a few things so people don't have to worry about. They can do what they want, but I'm taking over from Boris Johnson because he stopped us from going out when the pandemic was here 3 years ago, when the Premier League had to be suspended, even though our last game was the Villa game and we won 3-2 still. But Liverpool still managed to play Atletico Madrid in the Champions League and they got knocked out. So why
don't mention Liverpool getting knocked out, mate. That'll upset Laura, KPV. You'll upset Laura by mentioning Liverpool losing games of football, man.
Why, is she a Liverpool fan, yeah?
Yes, mate. I will be there on Sunday with her at Anfield, mate.
Oh, well, it's a shame, but not good. But Liverpool's still getting spanked. Like, Liverpool's still going to get spanked. But, yeah, but I still want to win at Anfield. And since 2011, that was the last time we won there, under Harry Redknapp. So, hopefully a win, but a draw is what I'm sticking with. So, hopefully I'm wrong on Sunday because I won't be watching the game. I'll be round a friend's house, so I won't be watching. But hopefully people can keep me updated on the game. I better get a message from everyone, and I better be checking if we scored. So I'm going for Pedro Porro and Son again to score the goals. And man of the match tonight, Porro. For me, like Kane got an assist, but they gave it to Harry Clase, not Pedro Zorro. Oh well, Sunday he's getting the man of the match, Pedro Zorro. So, but anyway, I know Asthmatic is waiting to come on. I can see him. You're coming on. Big up, Asthmatic. Let's see what you got to say, my man.
So we'll just sit here, Marlon. See you later, KPV. Just take over, mate. You take over the show, mate. Don't worry, it's fine. You don't need us, man.
I don't provide life insurance. So Ben Slim, no, I don't provide life insurance. But anyway, I'm off to listen to Who Let the Jabronis Out, not the dogs. But Who Let the Jabronis Out?
Who let the Jabronis out?
Brian Daigle did. Daigle,
you jabroni. You're a jabroni, Daigle.
Anyway, I'm off. Peace out, people. Peace out.
Peace out, KPV. Oh, my word. KPV. He's a legend. The man, the myth, the legend. He's already done it. He's also, Sammy, do you want to change the name of what Asthmatics put? Because it says Spoof View COYS, and it should be South View COYS. Yeah? Everyone bigging up KPV, even though he's blocked everyone, but he's just been a bit busy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play bingo with this gentleman. I'm going to wonder how many times he's going to say pivot, double pivot, into the half space. And let's bring him on. It's Ashmatic.
It's my partner in crime this time.
What are you saying, my guys? What are you saying? You good?
I'm good,
You hear me?
Ashmatic. How are you, man?
Yeah, good.
No, you're on mute, mate.
Yeah.
You're on mute.
You're mute.
Normally I am. That's why I had to check. I wasn't
Nearly
sure.
fell for it.
I was like, whoa there, buddy. Yeah, man. I didn't even watch the game, lads. I didn't even watch the game. I was too busy playing in the half space. I'm playing Wilson.
Yeah, we heard that. We heard this
No, I'm
rumor that
joking.
you were double booked or
No,
something.
I'm joking.
Maybe this was code
I'm
for something,
joking.
but we won't go there. We won't go there.
No, I'm joking. I watched the game. No, I was cool.
Yeah?
I watched it. Yeah. I wanted to just say big up to you guys. That's what I came on to say. Big up you guys, because I couldn't watch a lot of the game because I was on my way back and I was just listening to the watch along with you guys, and I thought you guys did a really good job. So that's really what I wanted to come on and say. Like, big up you, man.
What, the bit where
That's
we then
really
started
it.
crying?
The bit where we had the 1 minute, and it's like, oh god,
Thanks, Ash.
thanks, Ash, Matt. Yeah, I really enjoyed it when I was
Yes.
seeing you guys
Yes.
cry.
Yeah, in pain.
Yes, you were keeping me entertained, like especially for the first two goals. The first two goals, it was good to know that people were crying alongside myself. You know, we don't like to suffer alone, us Spurs fans. We like to suffer together. It helps
Yeah.
our mental health.
Yeah.
So seeing you guys go through it, it just helped me a lot. Yeah, man.
So
But
give us
yeah,
your
big up
thoughts,
you
Ash,
guys, man.
on the game, mate. First half, second half.
Well, since you missed the first half and you only saw us,
Yeah.
let's go on the second half.
Yeah. No, to be fair, all right. To be fair, I saw the what's it called, Rashford goal. Rashford, where Big Ed, SpongeBob SquarePants, Eric Diabolical was moving like a truck, slow, and gets beaten, and then obviously Rashford puts it in the back of the net. So I saw that bit, and then obviously, I saw the second half. So second half, we came out a different animal. For what I saw from the first half, we were sitting off too much. We're playing way too deep.
Yeah.
And I think that Mason was very like conservative and pragmatic, but obviously he just came off the back of a 6-1 defeat. So I wasn't expecting all guns blazing, against Man United, because we know how dangerous their players are. So, but I think at the same time, that's what was hurting us. We're allowing players like their ball players like Bruno Fernandes. You had obviously Eriksen. I thought Eriksen had a really good game on the ball, but he was hurting us. And obviously you've got the Casemiro. You've got Casemiro there as well. And Casemiro had a good first half, I thought, as well. And I thought because we were giving them so much time and space, they were able to just pick their passes wherever they wanted. They said, Anthony, I see you. Don't move. Boom. Rashford, don't move. Sancho, stay there. You know what I'm saying? So literally that was what was happening. And we were just happy to sit back. But I actually think that was a tactic from Mason to kind of like pick our moments, to stay compact in the middle of the pitch. So then they would limit their chances to only a few. But obviously I missed the first goal. So I didn't really know how that kind of all fell to pieces.
It was
I'm just going
Poro's
off.
fault. It was Poro's fault.
Poro,
of
Romero,
course it
and
was.
Skip. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all of them.
Poro, Romero, and Skip. Yeah, it was
I
all
like how
three of them.
Was it in that? Was it that in that order? Was it like?
Yeah.
Because I know I'm an Emerson fan.
Poro, Romero, and Skip.
Skip,
Yeah. Poro was a
So
fault.
basically, if Emerson was there, then that wouldn't have happened. Is that what you're saying? to me?
Correct. Yeah.
They would have
cool.
fouled him
Just
and given
checking,
a
I'm
penalty
just
away.
I mean, obviously Emerson wouldn't have scored the goal that Poro scored, but we wouldn't have needed to score. We might have won the game actually, because we wouldn't have conceded.
I'm
Conceded
an
2
Everton
goals.
fan.
So But anyway, yeah.
Ash, quick question, yeah. Do you think the substitution of Fred coming on for Eriksen swung the game more into our favour?
Yes. I think before that happened, though, we were pushing up on them. So
Yeah.
we were pressing high. We were more assertive. We were more forward thinking. We were more front footed. And I think Eriksen's legs had just basically run out. And because they had played the game on Sunday against Brighton and they went to extra time, I thought it was Ten Hag's decision to kind of take him off and think, look, we're losing the midfield battle here. I need someone that's going to have a bit more energy, a bit more impotence. And Fred's going to be that guy. I think he's more box to box. I think he's got a lot more energy. And he's going to be able to progress the ball in a different way and put more pressure on us because we're having a lot more time and space on the ball since we pushed up the pitch. Since, you saw, Romero has been a lot more front-footed, a bit more aggressive. Even Eric Dyer was getting a little bit more forward, etc., etc. But I think that's the reason why he went for that change. But it just didn't work because I think Fred had a nightmare. I think everything he did, he got it wrong. I just think his decision making was poor as well, and just wasn't in the game. Just wasn't in the game. He tried to get in the game, but he just couldn't get a foothold of it. And I think it almost looked like they had one midfielder less because we were so high up in the pitch and we were winning all those battles. And I just see Ten Hag on his book like this, constantly writing, looking up and down, and he's like, you know what I'm saying, trying to find the answer.
Yeah, Fred shit. Why did I bring him on?
Summer window.
Get rid of him. Why did I do that? Can I rewind this game?
Yep.
Exactly that.
And do you think the formation changed as well that Mason, when he obviously took the 2 wing backs off, do you think that had a massive effect on how the game then swung into our favour?
Yeah, so because people were, you know what, at that time, I thought we were playing quite well with the wing backs, if I'm being totally honest. And then I think when we switched it up, it didn't really affect, it wasn't a negative change, it was a positive change, obviously. And I think he wanted us to be a little bit more front-footed, and he saw what Kane was doing, dropping deep, and he wanted like someone to be up top, to be a presence. And I think that's why he brought Dan Juma on and then went to a back 4. And so then we was like a 4-2-3-1. And I thought we looked all right, if I'm being honest. In the 4-2-3-1, I thought we were causing them problems still. So that formation tweak was good because they tried to throw on substitutions, but it just didn't work. It just didn't work for them. Like, it wasn't affecting the game. And I think at that point, we went on to score the goal with Sonny. And after that, I thought we had a lot of the ball, but I think it did start to swing a little bit. And I think in the back of Mason's head, the counter-attack was always on. So I think he was thinking, oh, you know what, I might need to change things in a bit because the momentum swung the other way. And United are dangerous with Rashford and then Martial coming on. They can hit you at any time. They've got enough quality to score and affect us. But I personally think Richarlison's confidence is shot in front of goal because his decision-making was poor in front of goal. I think his overall play wasn't bad. I liked his aggression. I liked his shithousery. I liked the fact that he won fouls higher up the pitch. He kind of bought us time. And I liked his energy. But when it came into that final third, I just thought, shoot. And he passed it. Yeah. And then when he passed it, it was a little bit behind Son. And Son wasn't quite in that. Like, you have Kane confident and then the 2 wing forwards making the runs off of him. They needed to be confident in front of goal and be more clinical. And I think that was the difference in the first half. Because we did have a few opportunities on the counter-attack. Even Perisic, he kind of hits it straight at the keeper when he should be hitting it across. So I just think in that final third, when we needed to be ruthless, we just wasn't that. But in the second half, I just thought, like, again, Son had a chance and he just kind of he hits it with the side foot, but I think he should lace it and it'll go in the back of the net. But because he's not confident, he hits it and it goes wide. But our confidence Son be scoring that. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I just felt like the forwards, even when Kulusevski came on, he was bright. But like in that final third, when he got in that space, go on. How much did you got in that bingo? He shot it on his left foot and it went to the wide of the post. But I just think if Kulu was confident, or the old Kulu, that's in the back of the net. Like, so it's just those fine margins that were not quite getting over the line. But I just thought overall in that second half, even if you look at the expected goals, we outdone United. When it comes to actual big chances, we outdone them. It's just like that biggest chance fell to the wrong guy in Eric Dyer with his fat square head. If his head wasn't so fat and square, he might have put it in the top corner. Do you know what I'm saying? He can't defend. He can't score. And we're going to offer him a new contract. It just, just make it make sense. It's just, the math ain't nothing. That's all I can say, really. Well, yeah, man, that's what I got to say.
What do you think is going to happen at the weekend? So, look, Ash, we've got in the race, Brighton play Wolves on Saturday, could close the gap on us. And then on Sunday, Man United host Villa, Newcastle host Southampton, and then obviously we've got the Arsenal that are playing at home to Chelsea. I mean, they're probably going to batter Chelsea the way Chelsea are playing, not wanting whatever they've gone. How do you see? You say that.
Yeah, you say that. But Chelsea had a lot of possession, but they just don't put their chances away. Do you know what I mean? They just don't have it in them to finish off their dinner. But yeah, I see with what Liverpool. Liverpool, is that what you're gonna say? Liverpool game.
So yeah, we're playing Liverpool. We're 1 point ahead of them. They've got a game in hand, and obviously we play at the weekend. They've won 3 in a row. We've not won. We've won 1 in 5. So the omens aren't very good, are they?
You know what it is with Spurs? Spurs only play when we go like a goal down or 2 goals down or something, and we're trying to chase a game. That's when we start being more front-footed. We start being more assertive. We start taking like the initiative. If we don't score, if we score first, we've got a habit of just sitting back, or sometimes we just got a natural habit of just like we just get nervous and we just go within ourselves. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what manager has to change that. Even at Anfield, I can just imagine the fans being on top of the Spurs players, and I just can't see. I don't think they have the minerals, if I'm being honest. I think when Trent gets on that ball, you see Trent, he is a problem. He is not a right back. He is a world-class centre mid playmaker. The balls he's gonna play in between the lines. That's right. Yeah, another one. There you go, Barry. Look. In between the lines, when he does those balls, oh my days! Trust me, it's gonna be a problem. That's what's gonna cause us trouble. But it depends, innit? Like it depends if what Mason tries to do and how the players react, and if they. I like Spurs when we're front-footed. I just say take a risk, man. What have we got to lose? What have we got to lose? Like when you're not taking a risk and you're not doing anything about it, you just see what happened with Newcastle. Newcastle shredded us to pieces. You saw what happened again in the first half against Man United. So just kind of go for it, man. And that's what the fans want to see. Just be assertive, be more confident, believe in yourself. We've got so many attacking players. The wing backs actually are good at attacking. So just make everyone just push up the pitch a little bit. Push them up the pitch. And like you are going to concede some, but guess what? If you're more front-footed, you've got more chance of scoring goals. You've got more chances of creating opportunities. Do you know what I mean? But it's not the only way to play. We were good as a defensive unit in parts of the game. We did well on the counter-attack in parts of the game. But don't let that be your first and only option. That's all.
Yeah, look, Ashmatic, I noticed you've got at Southview COYS, which is a view from a South Stand TV, but your picture's not there. Marlon, what's going on, man? Are you mugging Ashmatic off, man?
No. Ash and I
That's how I wanted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to be undercover, yeah? Undercover Ashmatic,
Undercover Ashmatic, man.
007. Ashmag 007.
Yeah. I've seen, mate. I don't want to see any more of you in the gym, man, pumping iron, man. Because it's like, look, I see Ashmatic and I'm going. I'm going to go and eat a pizza, man.
When he gets to his ideal weight, we'll put him on there. That's what he's
ideal weight. There's no weight to him.
Listen. I'm there to motivate. I'm here to motivate. That's all. I'm here to encourage and inspire.
Mate, I got you like another nearly 200 subscribers tonight. What are you doing for your channel, eh? I'm doing more for your channel than you.
Guys, watch out. Southview COYS, we got a lot of stuff coming in. Like, I haven't even told Marlon my plans. Me, I don't like to talk much. I just like to deliver. So that's what I'm going to say. I don't want to...
Half space, double pivots, in behind the lines. This is what Ashmatic is talking about. Yeah. In behind the lines, he's going to come out, they're going to drop some sick stuff, and that's it, right? Is that what you're saying, Ashmatic?
Literally. Listen, I'm just trying to make it simple for the man them to understand. Like, because a lot of the time I watch, the reason why I got into these half spaces and understanding the double pivots and the behind the lines, because I was watching Spurs and I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, what's our identity? What's our style of play? I said, no, I need to figure this out. So then that's the reason why I started looking at us a bit closer. And then I started, okay, maybe this is the style of play. Maybe this is it. So that my thing is to bring the style of play to the masses, to make us understand as a fan base what the hell we're trying to achieve at this club. Because right now there's no culture, there's no identity, and I just want to see us progress and move forward. That's all. That's it. Literally.
Look at that!
Tactics
Look at
of
that
Spurs
smile,
fans.
man!
Yeah.
Look at him. That's the money shot, man. He's got the smile, yeah, and that laugh. Look, there you go. Look, there you go. And then if you want to be embarrassed, go
You
and watch his
guys.
Instagram videos, yeah. And when he's pumping iron in the gym, man, fucking hell, this guy is ripped. When I'm sat next to him, I'm going, oh my god, get away, put some weight on, man.
Mate, when I did the Arsenal
Listen.
game with him, I was like, oh my god, I've got to sit here for 90 minutes next to this guy.
Yeah, this guy, exactly this guy.
That's why I put him onto the channel.
Guys, we need to be positive. I'm like the Black Arnie. Like, I'm trying to be positive. Come on, guys, come on. Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Yeah, my accents are terrible, by the way.
I know that it was pretty bad.
Love,
mate.
love.
Oh crap. They are so
I need to
They're
work
so
on them.
bad.
I need to work on. Yeah,
Yeah,
Big time.
big
That's what it
time,
is.
yeah, big time.
Yeah, your picture ain't going up till you get a better accent.
Exactly. Look, you got
I need a voice
Hans,
coach.
he's been on MasterChef, mate. What are you bringing to the table? Shit accents, yeah?
That's right. Shit accents. Yeah.
Oh, dear, brilliant. All right, Ash.
Well, big you guys up, man. Big you guys
You
up
say
once
Has?
more, man.
You said Has.
I've got Hass on the
Oh,
brain.
my God. He's got Has on the brain.
Hasmatic.
Ash.
Hasmatic.
Hass and Ash.
Has and Ash. All right, big up Ashmatic.
Jeez.
Thanks for
Ash,
coming on, man.
Big
Speak to
up
you
you,
soon,
man.
brother.
Pleasure as
Bless
always,
up.
Ash. See you later.
Is that it, Sammy? That's it. That is it. So, Tottenham 2, Manchester United 2. I forgot what was going on then. I was getting ready to predict do a loss. Look, Ben and Sim will be here tomorrow with instant match reaction, 5 takeaways, player ratings, all of the usual gubbings. They will also both be here for the watch along on Sunday, as they're not going to any more away games. I will be at Anfield, so if there is anybody travelling up there, do come, please say hello. It'll be great to see a lot of you Spurs fans that are going if you're going to the game. Ashmatic, big up on the channel tonight, mate. Loads of subscribers. Big up to all those that liked and subscribed. Yep. And, obviously joined and Marlon's, blah, blah. I've been here too long. Marlon's, Paz and Ashmatic's channel. Yep. A view from the South Stand TV. You'll see some great content from them tonight and also on Sunday after the Liverpool game. So it'll be one of them doing it, I'm guessing.
It'll be me. It'll be me Sunday.
It'll be Marlon Sunday. Marlon, your closing thoughts on tonight's game and looking ahead to Liverpool on Sunday.
Positive. I don't know if I should say this out loud, but I was impressed with Mason tonight. Mason's the person that's impressed me. Yeah, he's Arian said something about the halftime team talk, and he does have that. And I think Conte had it at the beginning. He didn't. He failed to mention that part, but he's done well tonight. And he changed it. He tweaked it, and it was impressive. It's just the ending part. But you know what? For how the season's gone, I'm gonna take it. And the biggest positive is the stadium. Levy out. It's got to be. We want change. It generally doesn't even have to be Enoch out. It just needs to be Levy. I think.
Yeah.
Get that culture changed at that club. Everyone raise that purple and gold. It is what we want our club back. Yeah, and people go, we'll go back to the 90s, but yeah, we had an identity and we all felt part. Like, you speak to a Spurs fan, you say you're Spurs, and you're all together. You speak to a Spurs fan now, and we're all at each other's throats. That's not us. We're a community. But yeah, come on, you Spurs, as always.
Yeah, look, and if anyone wants to see a video, there's a video that's been released on Bob Spur, I think Tottenham away, of Arthur, a Spurs fan for over 65 years, and he explains it very much how it should be, and gets very emotional with it because it's been part of his life for a very long time. But look, people, we've got away. Some might say we got away with one tonight. If Man United had been more clinical, then we may not have been. We may have been talking the same as Newcastle.
Fair, though, if we were a bit more clinical, we could have got away with it too. So
yeah, I guess a tale of two halves.
Yeah,
how many times we've said that this season?
Second half FC.
Second half FC. It definitely was second half FC. Thank you to everyone that's been in the comments. Thank you everyone that's liked. Thank you everyone that's gone over to a view for South Stand TV. If you want to go over and see me, you can find me next Thursday on Shelfside Spurs Show.
Please go over. Brilliant
Go
channel.
over. We don't talk much about football actually.
No.
So we actually have a lot of fun.
Football's like this much.
Yeah. It's about this much and having fun. Everything else. But no, thank you everyone for your comments. Purple and gold until Tottenham are sold. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.